Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Those who tune in on YouTube, Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Facebook, and those who follow my short reel TikToks under HCS. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's doing good. Having a wonderful weekend. I know it's a holiday weekend, Memorial, I believe. The Memorial, I believe it is. Oh, everybody's doing great. Kind of slept all day today. Just but it gave me some good rest. I was up most of the night. I know there's so many people that do podcasts throughout the evening, and I wait till a certain time. I was debating whether or not to make one or not tonight because it's a 4-day weekend, holiday on Monday, but I'm still here. Yeah, hey, we got Runner here. How you doing, Runner? I'll be doing good. It's as for me, I'm just trying to enjoy this weekend, in spite of everything that we've gone through this past couple of days. I'm trying. We're hanging in there. My wife is always busy. With her job and stuff. She's right now I have an injured toe, so she's been doing a lot of other things besides what I could do. You know, till I get it fixed, which is this coming month. But I'm hanging in there. Kind of slacked a little bit after the tornado and everything. Workout wise, I said, you know what? I went out there, kind of hurt my elbow a little bit, my leg. So I said, let me take a couple of days off. There's nothing wrong with taking a couple of days off, and I can get back on track working out this coming week. That's awesome, Brenner. You know, Dad and I got a cousin that's missing. Uh, this cousin I really never met. He's in a different state. But his I know his well, it's my cousin's son. He's from Colorado, but his son lives in. Well, I placed the picture of him, uh, which he's still missing. I'll keep him in prayer. I know how it is when somebody's missing, man. They start missing too long, uh, then most likely they're not here amongst us no more. You know. Hopefully he's somewhere, or whatever the case is. For him to be found. That's why we have to keep people in prayer. Yeah, we have to, you know, just like I remember all the veterans before me, man. That were from World War I, World War II. Uh, my godfathers, they kind of guided me, man. To give me that mentality of survival. Not to never give up in life. No, I see one that taught me a lot when I was growing up. He was already up there in age, and I seen him get older till I seen him get real old, in which I was doing most of the work at his house, and he was just bedridden. He was the one that told me never to give up in life. You know, He was a veteran, and he passed away. Of course, a long time ago. He's the one that had all the medals, and he had bullets, I guess, from the Purple Heart. Where he had gotten shot and stuff like that in combat. I never forget those before me. That's what people don't understand. Like drill sergeants or people that are in power now. When I was in, they didn't understand that I was already guided uh, through a higher source, which was my godfathers. They were actually veterans. They were veterans, combat veterans. So they kind of like guided me. To to become who I was. But every era is different. Every combat era is different. I guess technology gets more advanced. Uh, I know when I was out there in combat, uh, we would identify what we're shooting at, or if it was troops. Whatever the case, we had to identify. But when I was in combat, in the battle I was in, it was more of uh, just destroy the targets. You know. Now the wars of nowadays is like different. It's like you gotta ask permission before you even shoot a bullet. If you shoot a bullet, you could be getting shot at by people shoot the enemy shooting at you, and you still gotta ask permission to shoot back. That's crazy. That was under Obama. I believe a lot of veterans died because of that. You know, anybody, you're in war, somebody shooting at you, screw that. Just do what you got to do. But it's kind of like they made it difficult for the American troops because that's one of the things that they had to do is before they shot at a target, they had to ask permission. If they didn't get permission to shoot, and what are they going to do? Sometimes you just have to do what you. I mean, personally, me, if somebody's shooting at me, I'm gonna shoot back. You know, regardless of what rank I have. If they want to take my rank, hey, whatever. Uh, but I'm not gonna let somebody shoot at me or kill me because I'm following orders from idiots that they're not the ones that are getting shot at, but you got to ask permission from them. That's how I see it as. That's why I believe we lost a lot of soldiers during that Iraq war, because of that. Um, you have to, you get in a situation, you have to make your own decisions sometimes, right? Your own decisions sometimes of the actions that you're going to take to the threat that's in front of you. But the army has changed so much stuff when I was in to what it is now. It's like it's different than when I was in. They changed it up so much that it's to what I understand, the army has been weakened by a lot of the new rules and regulations that are in place. You know, it wasn't like that when I was in, but I guess when you're in a situation of a matter of life or death, you just got to do what you got to do, regardless of who's telling you what. You got to defend your vessel, your body. If somebody says don't shoot and they're shooting at you, they're trying to kill you. You're gonna have to shoot back, regardless if somebody's telling you uh, that not to shoot back. You know, uh, exactly. So to me, what's it saying? Uh, shoot first, ask questions later. What does that mean? That means you're gonna get kills. There ain't gonna be nobody to ask questions because they're gonna be gone. So basically, is your story against the dead. You know, so long you stick to your truth, that's all you got to go by. Stick to your truth. So I was following orders, but they kept on shooting at me, and I made my decision of defending myself. That's what you gotta do. That's where uh, you gotta do what to protect your vessel, your body. I hear a lot of stories from the front lines. Even back in the days, it was crazy. People in trench holes, World War I, World War II, trench holes, and just all kinds of crazy stuff. It's like every era is different. But I always remember those before me. It's like I could see how what they were going through to what I go through, like with the VA. That they don't want to give me the proper help that I need, right? So it's like I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I do and just do these lives. Talk about everything freely. There's nobody that can tell me what to say, what not to say. I'm just gonna say it. You know, I used to be part of the government, but I'm not part of the government anymore. I am a combat veteran, but I'm gonna say what I have to say. Regardless of. I've had people. I know people that that are retired and stuff like that. That were first sergeant majors. But some of these individuals, they never actually saw combat till later on. I saw combat when I was 19 years old. So it's like what I noticed is after the war, they were trying to get rid of all the young soldiers out of the military because I guess we were combat veterans at a young age. So they're trying to get all the young guys out of the military. Uh, when I came back from Germany to the States, gave us a hard time. They didn't want to promote us, give us rank, keeping us from getting rank. I think in the Cav, it's because the Cav, some of the Cav didn't see no combat, so they were pissed off at the units that did see combat. Like, I was in 135 Armor, 7 Corps, so they knew it came from a unit that saw combat. So it's kind of like there was prejudice within the ranks, because they knew that I seen combat, and I had the combat patch. They knew that my unit wasn't we fought the Battle of Medina Ridge, so I started to get discriminated by the first Cav division from the soldiers in power there. They would discriminate me and not promote me. So I didn't let that stop me from continuing my career in the military. I mean, it was kind of like disappointing when you see people coming out of basic training getting promoted before you, even though you had already proven yourself in a combat environment, right? Survived the supposedly one of the best armies that was out there. Then you come to the Cav and they don't want to promote you. They push you to the side because they have the thing that they didn't see combat against you, you know. And I had to go through that, you know. Did 10 years, even though I was getting treated that way. But what can you do with people like that? I could have done many things. There's some that that would literally challenge me to mutual combat. You know, those higher ranked individuals that go to my room, try to mess with me, say they're going to do this or that. And so I'll take on my. I said, okay, well let's do it then. So you leave your rank behind. I'll leave my rank behind, and we'll just handle business, and we'll see. But they will back out of it. You know. But in saying that, I had to go through a lot of BS while I served my United States, where I served the country, which was, you could say, individuals that were hating against people that were in combat because they didn't see no combat. A lot of those individuals, after I left, they were still in. They did see combat, and they couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle it. Some of them, they done lost their minds. Uh, that's what they wanted, right? They wanted some action. Ones that got the and some of them, the ones that were coming after against me, they really literally never seen nothing. They left the military, but there were some that were still in, and they went through a lot of stuff, right? Because the army changed from when I was in till when the Iraq War happened. So it was a whole different army, whole different people that were in charge at that time. Oh yeah, you got mortars, you got artillery. In the desert, well, of course you just see sand, but there's mines. You got yeah, all kinds of stuff underneath the sand that you don't even know what's underneath. You could be an underground mortar pool of tanks or of mines, where it's underground. They have a lot of ground bunkers over there in the desert. They know where they're at through the maps, but man, the desert looks the same all around, just sand. Uh, the threat that when I was in was Saddam Hussein. You seen what happened to him for genocide, for what he was doing, killing people and stuff. We all seen it on national TV what they did to the guy. They hung him for the things that he was doing. He killed a lot of people. Uh, we all seen it in that time frame when they hung him. Then Bin Laden, Bin Laden, they finally supposedly found him in an underground bunker and all this stuff, but it's like you don't know who to trust anymore. It's like who's affiliated with who and stuff like that. I witnessed that in the military, but that was a long time ago. The only thing I can speak for is for when I was in. I did try to go back when the Iraq War started, but they wouldn't take me because I had a physical condition. That's why I had left the military. So they told me the only way they would take me if the doctor would let me go, get the condition off, that they would take me back in the military. Uh, but the doctor said no, so I couldn't go back in the military. And everything happens for a reason. Because if I would have gone back into the military, then it's like who was going to take care of my son? My son was only like 2 or 3 years old. So everything happens for a reason. And now I'm glad that I didn't go back in because the way I see how they treat the veterans out here through the VA facility, it's like, man, screw that. I'm glad I didn't do no 20 years, putting my life on the line like that, you know. You know, you know, there's some people that are not made for combat. They are not made to handle a situation where it's a matter of life or death, or they have an opening of fear. Like I always talk about this. The reason I speak of this because I witnessed things. I'm going to share a story with y'all of how you doing, Overbuilt, Josh. How you doing, Costo? Uh, I remember we were working on our tank. This before we even went out to go across the desert. We had to go. They work on the tank because the company commander he was having problem with his engine, so he chose our tank to get our engine out of it and give us his engine. So we literally got a shitty engine, right? Um, they had changed it out, and I was kind of upset because it's like the only way somebody can have a bad engine if they don't take care of it. My engine, I was the one in charge of the whole, so I would take care of the engine. So they gave us a messed up engine, you know. So it's like there was this guy, this mechanic there. He was a high rank guy. He was an E7, and he was telling me that he didn't want to die. And I told him, look, man, so you don't have to worry about that. You're a mechanic. We're the ones that are going to go fight the enemy. Say just let us handle business. What we got to do, and you'll be okay. Everything's going to be fine. You have to worry about nothing. And he kept on saying, I don't want to die. So he goes into an outdoor latrine. He goes in there. He never comes out. He used his own weapon. He used his own weapon and took his life before we even went into battle. I'm just sharing this experience with y'all, what I witnessed. Uh, the spiritual opening he might have had was fear, and the the degen run loose over there. They spotted him, and boom, they targeted him. And I kept on telling them, hey, get that out of your mind. We got this. But no, he couldn't hack it, right? And he just literally took his own life without even letting us, letting the people on the front lines fight. You know, some people are not built for that. And sometimes you just got to do your job because that's what it was. We're trained for. That's our job to be a tanker, a 19 kilo, and our job is to everybody work as a unit and to overcome whatever we've got to overcome, whether it's in the office or defense. Yeah. Um, and I got the shirt here because I remember all those people, man. It's like, man, if you felt like you were going to take your life, I would have taken your weapon away from you so you wouldn't do something stupid, right? The guy just took his life. Like he couldn't handle it. I seen people that died in accidents before even going into war. Where I seen one where he was taking the tanks to Bremerhaven or yeah, Bremerhaven in Germany. We're on the railhead, and the wires are live up on top. That even the birds don't land on it because if they touch it, they get fried, right? And that's why the trains over there go so fast, over 100 miles an hour, because the wires that are on top are live wires. Uh, I remember we were getting there near the railhead was getting near the port. I could see some Bradleys to the right. I seen a guy standing on top of a Bradley, and it was like a light snow. And I seen the snow fly, a current jump from one wire to the other, and it came, and this guy had he had his pile cap on. When you're in the railhead, you're supposed to have your Kevlar on, your Kevlar. He had the pile cap, and I guess a current hit him on top of the head. So we stopped the train. We got off. You could smell like burnt hair and burnt skin from a distance, like probably 7 carts away. We were running. We just see the body of the soldier on the ground, right? And I go to him. I check for a pulse. He's got a pulse. Uh, I'm checking if he's breathing. You can see he's breathing, but his chest is he's just trembling. He's just trembling like this. Uh, uh, just going like that, right? Still remember his name. Uh, may his God continue to rest for him to rest in peace. His name was PFC Mosaic. That's the rank he had. So I had to check to see where the entry one was from the current of the electricity. So I moved well, his hat was off, and I could see like the hair was lifted where the electricity hit him through here. His dog tag that he had on his chest had a piece of rubber around it, and the rubber was melted on his chest. So I'm searching and I'm touching his BDUs. The videos at the time were like the green ones with the brown and black. I start touching the BDUs, and the BDUs are crumbling off of him, like literally falling off of him, like they're burnt. Following up is They're falling off of him like it's paper. So I look towards his boots, and I go and I look and I see where the exit where the bolt went through, which was on his left boot. He had a dog tag on his left boot where the soldiers were supposed to have one in their boots, just in case something happens in combat and we die. They're able to ID the body, right, through the dog tag that's in the boot. Uh, so then the ambulance comes, and as we're picking him up, he's kind of like sliding off our hands, and he's a pretty tall guy. Uh, he was like probably like six something, 6'2". We pick him up and we take him, and they take him away. Found out later on, like about a week or 2 weeks later, that this guy that the current hit him so hard, that live wires or live current, that he burnt every bone in his body, every bone in his body, all his bone in his body were burnt. So it was kind of like they had him to one of the machines, like a vegetable, where the parents came from the states to come see him and stuff like that, and they disconnected the plug, because he was no way in the world he was able to going to be able to live, right? So that's the first time. Well, one of the first times, right? Like while I was in the military, that I seen somebody pass away. This is before even combat. This is while we were getting ready to deploy to combat. And then on the naval ship, there was a female standing up on top of the naval ship, and she was taking pictures, and she fell into the bay. A gust of wind came, hit her, and she fell into the bay with all the weapons. She had like weapons in her arms, M16s. She fell into the water and she passed away. So it's kind of like all those things that were happening was like I felt that something was letting me know, hey, this is be ready, get prepared. This is real. There's no time to be taking pictures. You need to take this job seriously because it's a matter of life or death. So that's how I took it, when I went out there. You don't have time to be worried about uh, what's happening back home. When you're out there and you're placed in a combat environment, you have to be focused on the mission. I don't low shine. Yeah, it's like, man, I witnessed that, and and it's like I had already been through things throughout my life, but I remember when I was in basic, they're like, you need to learn how to do this. It was like landmines. There was this instructor that he was doing landmines, and he said if you don't know how to uh, disengage them, then it can cost you your life. So, and they would show us pictures of people missing limbs, missing legs, missing arms, and then when I seen the giant uh, minefield, the obstacle was huge. It was like big with a bunch of minefields. Like, oh, I guess he was lying. I asked, but I wasn't gonna. There's certain people that have jobs to do that. My job was to go fight the enemy. But the engineers cleared the path for us with their tow missile. They cleared a path, and then as they cleared the path, we just kept on going forward. You're welcome, Lori. But no, I just remember all those people. And there's some that like from the previous wars, Vietnam and stuff. Some people that never made it back. You know, uh, you could Smurfy. Send them for a walk, but I don't think we're allowed to do that, especially with their PWs. That's against the Geneva Conventions. So if we do acts of crime in that manner, then and somebody reports us, then we're justified to go to a court of law because it's against the Geneva Conventions. That's what happened to Saddam Hussein, right? He did crimes of war, and you see what happened to him. And it was they did that on national TV. They recorded that and everything. That was crazy, right? Yeah, but I've met so many people while I was in the military, especially out there in Operation Desert Storm. Those people that were from other countries. You had the Israel army out there. You had some British. You had some, I believe there were some people from Germany there. It was like people from different countries that were out there fighting with us against the enemy. They were there were our allies to fight against Saddam Hussein. Yeah, but there was a lot of POWs that gave up, that surrendered a lot. But I feel sorry for those guys because the way our government did them is like we cut their supplies for them to get any supplies from anywhere. I'm talking about supplies as food and stuff like that. So a lot of those the enemy were malnourished, or if they did have food, they ran out of food. The body can only be so long out there without no food and no water, especially in the desert. But that was a long time ago. Yeah, but no, I remember every time something that has to do with either Veterans Day, this holiday, this Monday, Memorial. I remember all the people that that's been with me. You know, I just lost a soldier of mine that was under me. He just passed away this past week. You know, and he was younger than me. He passed away. You know, I don't know what he passed away from, but I went through this tornado stuff that I couldn't. If he's got a funeral, that I don't know if I'm going to be able to tend to it because I'm still trying to recuperate from the tornado that hit us here in Temple. So last year I had a good friend of mine that was out there that passed away also. So you know, the only thing I can tell people was this. You know, and you don't even have to be in the military. The only thing I can say is this: that you have to do something for yourself in order for your body to keep on going. You know, and you have to take care of your body. That's why I try to do something, a workout or something. You know, while I can, because I know there's going to be a time that I'm going to not be able to work out. But for right now, I try to stay active and try to do something physical. If you don't take care of your body, nobody's going to take care of it for you. You know, one of the things I stopped doing is just drinking. It's not like I would drink all the time. I'm just a occasional drinker. Like if it's a holiday, or maybe if it's I could say maybe every day is a holiday, but no. Or if there's a dance, a wedding, or that kind of drinker. I don't drink like during the week or nothing like that. But I'm not even supposed to be drinking. Uh, but if I drink something, it'll be maybe one beer. That's it. If I do drink and drink some water with that, you know. And I've never ran away from what I've witnessed or what I've experienced in my life, whether whatever I've seen growing up, whatever I've seen in the military. I've never run away to drinking, to forget things. I've never done drugs to forget things. I've never done nothing like that. I just, talk, talk, talk about it like I'm talking here with y'all right now, because I have nothing to hide, from anybody. I just speak the truth. The government might not want me to say the truth, but I'm just going to say what I have to say. Whether the government or people like or don't like what I have to say, I'm going to say what I have to say. I share my stories to the viewers of what I seen, what I witnessed. How you doing, big homie? From Central Texas. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's like when I was in the military. When you're in the military, you're within the structure. They want you to be a certain way and follow orders. They tell you to do something, you got to do something, and you got to jump out of your arse, do something. But then, as I started getting higher, got some rank, I was like, you know what? Some of these things that people are making you do is just to benefit them, to make them look good, and they get promoted and they forget about you, even though you're the one that's doing all the work. So then, after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to worry about myself. Do what I have to do, and once my time is up, I'm out of here. I did 10 years. Um, I found out very quickly that once something happens to you physically, or you start having a physical ailment, that they start treating you like crap. They start treating you like trash. Even though you done win a combat, you done prove yourself in combat. Once you start getting ill or sick, uh, they start treating you like trash. I found out very, very quickly. Even till the last day that I left, people were trying to treat me that way. There was one main guy that was doing that to me, and I went up to him in my dress greens when I left. Looking straight in the eye, it was a sergeant major. I grabbed his hand, I squeezed it very hard, and I looked at him, and I said, "Thank you for all the support, sergeant major." squeezing the shit out of his hand, and I'm waiting for him to swing or do something, do something so I can have the permission to give him how should I say, an ass whooping of a lifetime. He didn't do nothing, and I'm looking straight in his eyes, and I just finally let him go, and I said, "You have a nice life." I walked away. He got all red from the face, and he walked back inside his building. Basically, I was telling him, I don't have to listen to your crap anymore. You're nobody to me anymore. And I wanted him to do something because I was already literally out of the military. I was a civilian. Uh, that my last day there was my last day. I was not with the army anymore. Honorable discharge. And I wanted him to do something so I could handle business with him, but he never did. He was nothing. He never manned up. It was nothing but talk. I don't know whatever happened to the guy. I know that people that have a high position, in the military, the saying is shit rolls downhill. So I'm more sure that those people that are in charge have a lot of pressure on them, in which in the military there's two things that the division just cares about, which is the division in charge of the battalions and the brigades. They only care about 100% accountability of people, and they want to know about 100% accountability of vehicles, that you're 100% all around ready to go. They don't want to hear if there's a vehicle or two vehicles down. They want to hear good report that everything is ready to go, just in case there's combat. They want to know that if the soldiers are ready to go, they got all the paperwork ready. They want to know that. They don't want to know, yeah, well, this soldier is sick or nothing like that, because then they start seeing you as, as a number. So that if you can't do your job, then they're going to have to replace you with somebody else to do your job, in which most likely you have to, they push you to do something else till your time runs out, or sometimes people just get chaptered out of the military, right? Me, I did my time. The last 2 years, I had to go through some things, but uh, I got my honorable discharge paperwork and everything. So, no, just lessons in life that you learn. It's kind of like, I can understand if I'm in a combat environment and you're out there fighting against the enemy, and if there's still breath in me, I'm going to fight till the end. But when you're in the rear and you're not in combat, and you expect for them to take you the same way you will fight for for the army, right? You expect them to say, for example, I'll give you an example. I had a dislocated shoulder and a broken nose because we went into a ditch. As I had my arm in a sling, I was a gunner, and my nose was broken. I couldn't breathe out of it. They told us, don't unpack your bags. So you're going to, we're gonna cross attach you to Alpha Company. You're going to to uh, to guard the Iraqi border for 3 months. I went out there with a messed up shoulder and a broken nose. That they never sent me to the. I never got to go to the doctor, right? Out there, so I was in a lot of pain. You know, imagine you're out there, you can't breathe out of your nose, so you're breathing out of your mouth because you can't breathe right. Then I come back to the states, and I goes to another deployment. So it's almost a whole year passes by the time, and they don't want to send me to get fixed, to get my nose fixed or my shoulder fixed. So I tell them, look, either you send me to the doctor, or I'm going to take this higher to division of what y'all doing, or go talk to somebody. So either you're gonna take care of me, or I'm gonna do something about it. So they finally sent me to. I had to go all the way to San Antonio to get my nose fixed, in which I had to break my nose like I don't know how many times. They had to do a surgery over there at the Sam Houston Hospital in San Antonio. Uh, but yeah, man, it's kind of like you figure. Imagine if I would have been in combat and something would have happened in a combat environment. I wonder if they would treat me the same way. They would have treated me like I had a broken nose for a whole freaking year. You know. You're welcome, Sarah. But that's the way it is. There was a lot of double standards in the company I was in because I see people they could have a little toothache and they'll give them a week off. They're making priority. I had a freaking broken nose and a sling, and my arm was a sling because I had dislocated my shoulder, and they didn't want to help me. It's like if I would see these people, some of these people, I met one of them, one of these people that after the military, he was like literally making fun of me. I was at a Walmart, right? He was already out of the military. I was out of the military. He knew I was out of the military. This guy was a bum. What I mean by that is he was married and he was cheating on his wife all the time. He was one of my he was a one of my platoon sergeant. He was one of my platoon sergeants at one time, and he was always talking about the girls he was messing around with, right? So I'm at a Walmart with my son, and my son was small, like 2 years old. He's making fun of me, man, and his wife was right there by him, like literally making fun of me. Talking, hey, did you get to retire? And he's laughing at me. He was one of those guys that was with the sergeant major. And I look at him and say, man, you already know what's up, what happened, that I left because of these conditions. So you trying to be a comedian? Or you making fun of me? I said, since you want to talk, about joking around. Well, I looked at his wife and I said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Uh, I always hated him. You know why I hated him? And she's looking at me. Because he was always messing around behind your back. And I feel sorry for you that you stuck with this piece of shit. That's what I told him. You stuck with this piece of shit, even though he was being unfaithful and shitting behind your back. And she looks at him and walks away from his ass, And he's like looking all pissed off, and I'm waiting for him to do something, but he just walks away, Yeah, he got caught shitting. He got deranked. His wife was higher ranked than he was. His wife was a first sergeant. He was only an E7, and he got busted messing with a female soldier, even though he was messing with a lot of females, and he got deranked lower. So, man, his wife just left him there. He looked like an idiot. That's what he gets for making fun of me. I was speaking in truth. I mean, he was my platoon sergeant, so I knew everything about him. Good night, Josh. Casto. Yeah, and the medics. The only way you can get really help from the military when you're injured or something, you have to bypass the aid station, and you have to bypass the what is it called? There's another one, the MTC or I can't remember the name of it on top of my head, but it's another one that's in between. The real help is at the hospital, but you have to go through the battalion. They have a lieutenant in charge of that aid station. So if he says a certain thing and he'll send you to the next level up, and then if they don't send you to the next level up, you're stuck within the battalion and that location where you're not going to get no help. So sometimes you have to bypass them yourself and go to the hospital to get the help that you need. That's right. Uh, all of the soldiers that they murdered because of lack of care. Uh, a lot of veterans have died within the VA facilities to the lack of care. Uh, got targeted. You know, I know y'all remember there was a blacklist. They call it the Obama blacklist, where a lot of soldiers died when he was in power. I was on that blacklist. They tried to take me out in King Doctors Hospital, but I survived. Uh, but yeah, because we're numbers. Like Brother Runner here says, he did 25 years, put all his blood and tears, and then he found out he's just a number in a book. And he's right. He's right about that. So they see me, they didn't just see you as a number, they see you as a number with a dollar sign, because if you have an ailment or a condition, you know, it's their responsibility to take care of you. So how do they eliminate the number and the dollar bill that they're putting on you because you don't serve you're a veteran? They try to take your ass out. And I'm not talking about taking you out to go out to dance. uh, I never seen the VA do anything for the soldiers, do anything that giving out anything. I think only one time I witnessed something that they were giving out little things to the veterans, you know. But yeah, they literally try to give you some medicines to take you out, or they send you to an appointment where they try to eliminate you, you know. Luckily, I was still young when they were trying to do this, so I'm still here. But I feel sorry for my other brothers, the ones that were older, that couldn't defend themselves to be able to fight against what they were trying to do. I feel sorry for those that are not here amongst us anymore. It's like it's bad when you go to your doctor and your doctor tells you you're still here. When your own doctor tells you you're still here, when you haven't seen your doctor in like over a year, and they say you're still here, you're like, you're still alive. And I'm like, sorry to disappoint you. It's crazy, man. I still have some friends that are still in there. Some already retired. They, you know, they did the 20 years or 25 years. I couldn't do that. You know, it wasn't meant for me, I guess, to be there that long, because I got a condition from an accident, and I had to leave. I still take meds for that condition from an accident I had. I don't like either waffles or pancakes. Uh, I rather have French toast. Well, you know, yeah, it's worth it. You know, I had to do what I had to do at that time that I was in. You know, I had to be, you know, a contract to fulfill. You know, when when you enlist, you take an oath. You have to fulfill the contract. I wouldn't do nothing different than when I was into right now. You know, it just I did what I had to do. You know, I'm still a proud American, even though there's, excuse my language, assholes in this world, right? That, you know, they're just doing their job, or that they don't care. You know, uh, I'm still, I probably serve my country. What do you like there? Are you sure about that? What would you rather have? Let me think of something. Sausage, bacon, or ham? Yeah, when somebody gets underneath your skin and they come at you in a negative way in the military, we literally used to handle business a certain way. If somebody got a problem with me, they dislike you so bad, and you can't talk about it to resolve the solution. There's only one way to solve the solution, and it's literally mutual combat. It's like, okay, I hate your guts. It's okay. Well, I'm gonna let you do something about it. If you kick my ass, you kick my ass. You handle it that way. Yeah. Talking about that's one thing I do miss from the military was the breakfast, man. Uh, Bacon was one of the choices. Ham, a sausage, or grits. Uh, you get a choice of you could get an omelet. An omelet. You have over easy eggs, medium eggs, sunny side up. I miss the breakfast from the military. That's what I miss. And sometimes I just want to go in there and just tear it up one day because the breakfast is healthy, but it's not made to. It just makes you. It's made to fill you up, but not to. They want to keep you at a certain diet, right? So it's all dietary. The food, even lunch, they leave a lot of things out of it. Which yeah, it's like when you go to basic training, they'll make you lose weight real fast with that mess hall food. Somebody said one time I was praying extra hard, but something started clapping. The what the hell is he talking about? You're welcome, brother. Out of allergies right now from all the fallen trees. Well, I got rid of that troll right there. I don't know who that was. Yeah, you don't got nothing else better to do. I got something for him. Look at that. Yeah, I got something for Corner on the Cob. I'll give him a demonstration. If he ever wants a free demonstration, I'll give him a demonstration. I'll give him a class of Mutual combat. Yes, my son was gonna do. As a matter of fact, he was gonna join when he just finished high school. Uh, he was talking to a recruiter, but then the COVID happened, and he didn't do it after all. And I told him that I'm not gonna force him to do something he don't want to do. That is up to him. He's enjoying life, working. Listen to me, according to Cabo, you hear? He enjoys his life of working. He was working a job. He did it for about 2 years. Now he's moved on to another job. So he likes to work. He literally likes to work. According to the cob, how come you just don't but make yourself a little stand to sell corn on the cobs? You know, roasted corn on the cobs, or like the Mexicans do. Since you like corn a lot, you can make some money. I mean, literally, the corn on the cob at the flea market. Sell corn on the cob and some turkey legs. You can make a killing, man. I think a turkey leg goes about 5.50, $6 for a turkey leg. Just a thought, man. Make a little money on the side. You could take the corn or just from the can and put some butter in it, and people like it in cups also. Yeah, or you can make a roasted cockroach. Certain people like roasted cockroach and roasted grasshoppers, chocolate, chocolate covered grasshoppers and chocolate cockroaches. They come from other countries. He got pissed off, didn't he? he got mad. He got mad with that one. I'm trying to give him an idea to make some money, man. He probably get more money doing that than what his members give him. He'll make more money doing that. Just giving them an idea to make some money. To attract people, you can put on a corn on the cob costume. And you could do a little dance and stuff, and bring them to go get some corn. uh, I don't know, man. Them countries over there are a little bit whack for me. All those countries up there. He got mad. And he started coming out with his fake profile. Oh man, thank you, brother. Yeah, he always keeps on coming in here trying to disturb my live feeds. If you really look at him, man, if you see a picture of him, he looks like Shrek. He literally looks like Shrek. Not to be mean or nothing, but uh, his sister slash whatever, she looks like Fiona. No, everybody looks like somebody in this world, right? So we can call him Shrek the Corn Guy. Yeah, he always trolls me at nighttime. I don't know, man. He got some issues. He's always messing with people. Well, I guess with certain people. You see, in his group, he don't really say nothing too much in his group. Like me, I share stories and I talk to y'all. His group, you'll say like a 5 minutes. I don't know. At one point, he wasn't even saying no stories. The only thing he was putting up was for donations. He just wanted people to donate to his group. That's all he wants is donations. But he don't want to. He don't want to work. He don't want to find a job. I done served my country, paid for my dues, and I'm here, man. Uh, there was people that are affiliated with them that are stolen valor. That they say they served the military, but they never been in the military. Stolen valor. There was one guy. He was saying that he was a pallbearer. What was that guy Chris, the one that got killed? He was a sniper, the one from Dallas area. Uh, that guy tried to say he was his pallbearer, and that's not how pallbearer details work. That they're gonna call somebody from a certain branch to come in and do the service for them. That's not the way it works. There's details for that, and every state has a detail. Wherever there's a base, there's the detail. Yeah, I guess he just likes coming in here. So I don't know why he likes coming in here. So there's a lot of people with stolen valor, man, that's never served. They, man, those are the guys that have. Some of those people have podcasts. Well, that guy had a podcast. Uh, I call him the Lion Vault. His name was Vault, the Vaultonator, or I can't remember his real freaking name. But he disgusts me because he was stolen valor, trying to pretend he was or act like he's a hard ass or a badass, like he served in the military, which he never served. You know, but the only thing he served was probably breakfast to his old lady. Yeah, so there's a lot of people like that, man. Stolen valor. They never served in the military. They have no proof that this no DD 214, no VA card. They got no proof of anything that they serve in the United States Army. But they do podcasts and pretend that they were in the military. They don't even know the name of their MOS. They try to make up stuff, and that's sad, man. No, it's sad that you got to do that to pretend to be somebody you ain't just to get attention. And then, you know what happens to people that lie like that? Uh, a lie, they try to cover a lie with another lie with another lie till eventually the truth comes out. And this is exactly what happened to that fella. The truth came out about that he wasn't in the military. So I don't know whatever happened to him, but he was full of crap, just like the people that supported him were full of crap. That's all I got to say. And if they're still affiliated with him, even though of what he did, stolen valor, then to me they will always be full of crap. How can you support somebody like that, man? That's full of crap. That's a liar. It's ridiculous. No, it's that dude's a the con artist, man. There's a lot of that dude was literally a con artist. He was ripping people money for money. He gypped a lot of people out of money. That's what you call a con artist. Yeah, once he's a liar, bro, he's a con artist. You can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth because he's full of it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Man, I understand if he had an experience. Well, say your experience of what you experienced, but when you're pretending to be that you're serving them in the military, in which there's people that serve in the military and died with honor, then you just disrespecting the true veterans, the true combat veterans, and the people that done lost their lives in combat. That's like a disrespect, man. That deserves an ass whooping. God honest truth. It's 2:14 where here where I'm at. Car. I don't know where you at, but yeah, con artist, uh, con artist slash uh, what do you call them? Those people that hold those signs on the side of the road. We work for food. Panhandlers, beggars, beggars. You know, beggars is a sin, right? Especially if you're begging and you have your full body that you're able to find a job and work. That's a sin. It's there, brother. Al Gore. If you're on my friends list, I'll send it to you through Messenger so you can check it out. I had him on my show. I had him on my group, Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, and then I placed the video here on YouTube. I'll check it out. I know I have the video. William Welsh says, I used to be a Satanist, and it was at my lowest, and God told me to pray. I gave in, prayed, and the Holy Spirit came to me and filled me up with joy. Best day of my life. God is real. Jesus is King. Amen, Brother Welch. I don't know who that other person is, but I think it was old dumb nuts over there, Mister Corner the Cob. I booted him out. He got so many fake profiles that he comes up in here. Sometimes the smell of ammo after going to a gun range or you go qualify your tank. You know that's one thing about the military. For whatever job we do, we have to be qualified to be able to do that job. So if we're a tanker or somebody that's in a Bradley or somebody that does field artillery, we have to go get qualified at the ranges in order for us uh, to be able to do that job, which you get graded. So and tankers, you can be it's 1,000 points to be the best uh, expert of the tank. But the system is kind of like the way they got it set up is you have to do things by a certain time, say things a certain way, in which, in all honesty, when you go out there into combat, technically is it's not about that. It's just when you're seeing the enemy, it's like things happen just a whole completely different way. Especially when you're not going down range to shoot a target. You're actually either you're out there shooting a real target that can shoot back. That's a whole different story. Oh yeah, we have we have a range before we go to a. We have a range that there where I was stationed in Hood. There was a range where you go calibrate your weapons, where they have targets. You calibrate your main gun, your short weapons, your 240, your 50 cal, and then we it's all connected to the main gun round. Once you would go to that, and we set up that way, then we go to the range, right? Well, sometimes we if it's not, we might go from there to a different range, which is Pilot Knob. Then we go to Clabber Creek, but normally we go to Pilot Knob to do some other things there, and then we go to Blackwell, then we go to Clabber Creek. So it's a mixture of everything. We go to like four different ranges. We do maneuvers, offensive maneuvers, defensive maneuvers. It's like a lot of training. Well, that's good, brother Williams. That you found the power uh, through the Heavenly Father, through Jesus Christ. I'm glad that you got awakened spiritually, and that you maintain the Love Foundation. That is good. It's like it doesn't even feel like I've been talking that long with y'all, and it's already been an hour and 16 minutes that I've been here talking to y'all. Time flies when you're having a good time, even if it's under other people's expense. One of the things that we had was that I kind of miss a little bit would be the MREs. MRE, if y'all don't know what it is, it's a meal, and it comes like in a little bit. Back then they were brown, but I think now they're like light brown or different colors. It comes in a case, and it's got like I think 12 meals. So we're a four-man crew, right? So it's 12 meals, so it's three MREs per each person in the tank, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we already knew who liked what in the tank, right? So it's like I like the beef stew. Nobody really liked the beef stew. I'll get the beef stew. I will get sometimes an omelet. They had one that had an omelet, and sometimes I will get one that's called chicken a la king. Then there's some that had ham, some that had frankfurters in it. My lieutenant, well, I'll give him the ones that my lieutenant liked, and I'll just eat whatever. It didn't matter to me. But I kind of miss those meals. The only thing about those meals is the chemicals that are in it. It kind of make you go to the restroom after you eat them. And then they had some tea rats. I ate a tea rat. It comes in like it's not aluminum but metal. It had the date of 1969 on it. The date it was made said 1969, and it was when it was 1994. Who were eating this meal? It was a breakfast meal. It said 1991 on it. I mean 1969. So the cook was giving it to us. It was like egg with sausage and bacon, right? They put it on my thing, and it's like they boil it and just warm it up that way with hot water. I got it, and some of the egg fell, and I ate a little bit, and it kind of like upset my stomach real fast, so I stopped eating it. When I had gone to the restroom, came back, the ants were on top of this egg that I had fell off my plate. All the ants that were on it were dead. All the ants. Ants will eat anything, right? The ants were dead on the egg, and the egg, there was no beats of, not a strand from that egg that was on the ground was taken from any ants, because all the ants that got to it died. So only God knows What was in that food? Just sharing some experiences with y'all brothers and sisters. You know, little red ants. They'll eat anything. You know, they go to a picnic. They take your bread. They'll take your loaf of bread. And you're like, "Where's my bread at?" You see a trail of ants taking your bread. The freaking ants died with a piece of egg from a tea rat. Somebody said, "Who would you rather let die? 10 civilians, someone who is very important." Somebody said, "Answer a interesting question for once. Who would you rather let die? 10 civilians or someone very important?" Well, you know, as a soldier, we're supposed to protect our country. So honestly, nobody would die. The civilians wouldn't die, nor the somebody important would die, because we would take care of the threat. Bottom line, because that's how good we are. That's how good the military is. We take care of the threat. When I went to Operation Desert Storm, we liberated Kuwait. We protected the civilians of that country, and we protected the people in charge of the country. And we eliminated the threat, which was all of Saddam Hussein's army. That's how good the military is. Thank you, Michael. How you doing? Thank you. Military is pretty badass, bro. We'll, we'll protect we'll protect the civilians, people that are important. Even the animals will be saved. You got pets, even the animal will be saved. That's how badass the United States Army, Marines are. We're bad, mother, and I'll leave it at that. I'm just being honest. We're some bad, you know the deal, man. We train highly. We're highly trained. Shit, I remember one time I became a lumberjack one time when there was a big fire. I went out there, was a lumberjack, a fireman putting out a big ass fire. You know, that wasn't even my MOS, but it was the detail, right? Uh, if you're trained properly, and the people train you within your company, uh, to standards, you can make it back because everybody's got your back. You know, you have to be alert. You can be taking it as a joke. You training is gotta you gotta make it be realistic, because the same realistic you make it during training is the same realistic. It's going to be more realistic when you're in real life. So you have to give it 100% to the fullest. You can be worried about anything that's happening in the rear. What I'm talking about, like if you're married or girlfriend problems, you can't worry about that. You have to keep your mind clear and just focus on the mission. You know, safety is number one. You can't feel comfortable with the equipment that you work with. Because once you feel too comfortable with the equipment that you work with, that's when accidents happen. And there's people that's when they happen when they least expect it. You know, some been in the military 20 years. They get too comfortable with the equipment, and an accident happens. So you have to be alert at all times. Thank you for serving, brother. Oh, you have to take it seriously. It's not like playing Black Ops or Modern Warfare or none of that stuff that you see on the game systems. It's way different, man. It's a lot of physical and mental stress, right? Physical because you gotta get in shape, and you know they gotta mold you to be in shape, and mentally you have to be a certain way mentally. You know, your 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 train of thought is a lot different when you're a soldier. So it's a lot of mental and physical stress, especially when you're training. You know, there's times that you train for about you get no sleep sometimes. So it can be very exhausting. You don't have to worry too much about fighting like this, especially if you're going to be in the infantry. It's going to be dealing with the weapons that you use. You know, your work as a team when you're in the infantry. My nephew was in the infantry. He did did 4 years, and he got out. Now he's got out and he's working in. That's what people don't understand, that once you're a veteran, you know there's opportunities for you. He's working for a union up in Arkansas. I mean, in Arizona right now. They're building a lot of facilities over there. So that's where he's working right now. You know, and he's still part of the government. So you can still continue to climb the ladder within the government, but doing other jobs besides being in the military itself. You can be like a contractor for the working for the base, and they still consider you part of the government. So you can still climb the ladder in that way for retirement purposes. Yeah, but it'll be a little bit more, maybe like 30 years. Yeah, just like when people are in the regular army, then they transition to the reserves. It takes more time for you to retire in the reserves, which is like almost 30 to 40 years serving for the government. So I say like somewhere around there. But then you have to wait till you're, I believe, 59 to be able to collect your first retirement check. So if you do your time and you get out of the military, or out of the reserves, and did your 40, right, or 40, 45, 47, you still got to wait another 10 to 12 years to get your first retirement check, and wish you can pass away by then. I had a friend that he had gotten out. He was in all the wars, just about. He was like, even before Operations the Storm, I think he was in what was the other one? He was in a different one. He was in Operation Desert Storm, and he served all throughout the years in the reserves. He went to the Iraqi wars, and he got out when they finally got people out of there. That's when he finally retired. So he's waiting for his first paycheck. He was already like 50, 57. He needed 2 more years, but he died. He passed away. You know, he was real sick, being exposed to a lot of things, being in all those wars. He didn't make it to the age of 59, and he passed away. He never got to see a retirement check for serving the United States Army for that many years. He was a single father. I mean, he was a single person. You know, he had no family. But yeah, you know, and of course, some people try to pull the collar because some people did serve a lot their time. You know, I didn't get to serve all my the time that I wanted to serve because I got injured while I was serving my country. I got a condition that prevented me to do my job, so that's the reason I left the military with an honorable discharge after my time ran out because I couldn't do my job duty anymore as a tanker because of the condition I had. But then you got some that they just serve all their time and they're they're retired veterans, you know, and they serve the country proudly, you know, and I'm happy for them because they got to serve all the 25 years and they just don't have a retirement check. They also have benefits from the VA if they have something wrong with them, right? 25 years. Uh, the Me, I get help from the VA regardless, right? Because I'm a combat veteran, you know, and all those conditions that I went through that happened to me, they're on record. So, but yeah, I have friends that are retired sergeant majors and retired first sergeants that were NCOs with me when I was in the Army. I just happened to get sick. I only had one MOS, 19 kilo. No, the military, if I had good people in charge of me, they could have found me a different job to do within the base, you know, uh, till, but 10 years is a long, it would have had to been like a lot of years there, you know, they could have put me to work at a different job, you know, like at the gym or somewhere, you know, but it had to do, they couldn't keep me there that long. So, I left with an honorable discharge, which that's still good, you know. Honorable is honorable. We got somebody from India here. I had some friends from India, Humvee, that work with me in Austin, Texas. They own peanut farms in India. They had big peanut farms. Ah, no, hell no. I don't want no CQ or staff duty. I did all that. CQ, staff duty, freaking working at the ranges. Uh, what else? Shit. Man, this stuck me in all kinds of details. That could be big money. Somebody from Hawaii. I used to do all kinds of details, man. Man, this stuck me. This stuck me guard. This stuck me in guarding the Fifth Ward, man. You know what the Fifth Ward is? The Fifth Ward on Darnell, which is uh, where the people are suicidal. I got stuck in a detail like that when I was doing all the details before I got out of the military. Yeah, those people had some serious issues there in the Fifth Ward. A lot of unclean spirits roaming the hallways. Yeah, they do a lot of things, a lot of crazy things, man. I don't even pay attention to all that. I just do what I have to do to take care of myself. Continue to stay active, continue to work out, continue to do something, man. I ain't getting any younger. I'm hanging in there. That's all I can say. Yeah, that Fifth Ward ain't no joke, man. Had all the people all the suicidal people in there. What would that mean? All the suicidal people? That would mean there's demonic entities there, unclean spirits there. When you have the spiritual gift of discernment, you're able to witness that. So I witnessed this unclean spirits roaming in the hallways, going from room to room in the Fifth Ward. It was the United States Army. Man, I'm way older than you, brother. Overbuilt Automotive. I was in Operation Desert Storm, and I was 19 when I was out there. So the year of Operation Desert Storm to now, that's how many years? 30, 34 plus 19. I'm 55 right now. 55 years old. No, I never got to get stationed there. I never got to get stationed in Hawaii. The only two places I got stationed was in my first duty station, 135 Armor in Erlangen, Germany, and the second place I went to was Fort Hood, Texas. I stationed there in the Cav for uh, for about 9 years. And I got a there was the Unicrest for 212 Cav, and this is the Unicrest for 135 Armor. I was an Iron Knight when I was in uh in Germany with 135 Armor. When I got a Fort Hood, I was in 132 Armor, which it was I think they're called Black Knights or something like that. I can't remember the name that they changed to 212 Cav, which I believe is still 212 Cav till this day. Yeah. were there, man. We fought the Medina Republican Guard in the Battle of Medina Ridge. It was the biggest tank battle. I was there in the front lines. I walked the line. The line was long. I walked for about a mile, and I was trying to see if I could recognize anybody from my hometown. You know, I was walking and I was walking to finally I did recognize somebody from my hometown. They were out there. It was three of them, and they were all in the same tank. Uh, uh, I still remember their names. See, one of them was Danny. The other one was Mario, and the other one was what's his name? Danny, Mario, and shoot, he was a guy that was 1 year younger than me. I just can't remember his name on top of my head, but they were out there, man. There was three people from my hometown. I walked like about it was like a mile or 2 miles. That's how long the tank line was from the front line. It was long. It was longer than that. But I got when I seen them, I recognized them. I spoke to them for a little bit. Then I walked back to my tank. Somebody says, "Dogman of Bigfoot encounter." You know, like I always tell people, I've had encounters what seems to be a dogman or I call a lycanthrope, werewolf, or Bigfoot, Sasquatch. But to me, of what I witnessed, that they're more demonic of nature than a physical being. So I talk about the spiritual aspect out of them. That when you see something like that, to put it to a spiritual test, uh, when you see them manifest and they're looking at you, and either looking like they're a werewolf or a Bigfoot or any kind of cryptid, that you put it to the spiritual test, which would be, or say, tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. And if it vanishes and you smell sulfur or it smells like pestilence, then you know that what you're witnessing is not a cryptid, but it's a demon in disguise. The reason they do that is because of the fear factor. They manifest to look beastly, and they also do it for belief. So for those cryptid believers, you start believing it's a Bigfoot or a dog man, then that's a spiritual opening that demon uses to attack you in spirit. So I got rid of the other guy, the troll. That's the best way because, trust me, I know how to hit a target. I was a tanker. We have several weapon systems in our tank. We have a 50 cal. We have 240 machine guns, uh, and we have our personal weapons, 9 mils, and we have M16 weapon, uh, and at times a grenade launcher. So we know how to hit targets. Sorry to hear about that, Smurfy. Sometimes there's spirits that are around you and they're trying to get your attention and they do things like that. But yes, that's how you put it to the test. Then once it gets you to believe that you're witnessing them, that's when the demon attacks. They stop showing themselves to you because you already left an opening of belief. You might have left an opening of fear. And that's when they attack you spiritually, unseen. Where you can hear footsteps running towards you, turn around, there's nobody there, but then you feel an impact where somebody hits you. You fly 4 or 5 feet, tumble and roll, which is like a form of a possession. And they'll continue to attack you that way till you make a spiritual stance against what opening you gave them to have the spiritual open on you, which you have to cut the negative tie of fear. You have to cut the negative tie of believing in it in order to get power over them again. You have to take authority over them through Jesus Christ in order for you to send them away. Yeah, and just like I was talking to you about where I've been in combat and stuff like that, I talked to you about MREs, I talked to you about details in the military. Well, I'm talking to you about this, the DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim, which people call them cryptids, uh, because I fought them spiritually. This is why I know what they do, because I witnessed it, I experienced it. That's where I got my wisdom and knowledge to share this with y'all. And of course, certain cryptozoologists or people within the crypto community that want to continue to keep this Bigfoot and dogman alive, that they're flesh and blood creatures. They don't like what I have to say, the spiritual aspect out of it. The only thing I can tell you is this: put it to the test. There was a lady that heard me speak about how you place it to the test. She said that she witnessed a dog man looking at her from the woods. And she said, I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. In true faith and believe in Jesus Christ. She said it vanished and it smelled like sulfur. And she sent me a message through Messenger and thanked me. See, here in Spiritual Cryptid Encounters, I share my wisdom and knowledge to y'all so y'all can be spiritual ready and y'all get spiritual results for fighting this demonic beings, because that's what they are. Ambassador said, I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, yes, there's the Skinwalkers do exist here in Central Texas. I've witnessed them. I've had close encounters with them in Central Texas, in which they can mimic voices, they can mimic sounds, uh, they can mimic appearances. They can manifest to look like somebody you might know, an animal, or a person. They have those abilities. Uh, Pay attention to the eye glare of the Skinwalkers, because they'll have like a yellowish, orange uh, eye shine to them when they're in the form of a possible person. They'll have a certain glow in their eyes. That's when you know it's a Skinwalker. Yes, mimic relatives. They can manifest to even people that are gone in your life. I deal with them all the time here in Central Texas. I live in Temple, Texas. I know Stone Cold is from I think Edna, Texas, or Victoria, Texas, somewhere around there. Uh, oh, now you're a trucker. Now you're not Stone Cold. Okay, you're from Vietnam. Yeah, sometimes you hear chantings. They do mimic. They talk a different dialect, their dialect. So yes, it sounds like chants. I've caught those chantings, and sometimes when they speak a different language, when I go and investigate during the day. But there is a lot of skinwalker activity slash shapeshifter here in Central Texas. The natives from the land, Tonka ones. I think they're Tonka ones. Something, and there were Tonkawa. They were like cannibalistic, where they would kill other natives and eat them. In which some of those natives, they're shapeshifter and skinwalker, and possibly, since they were cannibalistic, wendigos. Smurfy, maybe the Indian was chanting for a lot lizard. Oh my God! Or maybe it was the lot lizard sounding like the chanting. Get my drift? No, I'm just playing. Skinwalker is basically somebody that would sell their soul for the witchcraft and necromancy. So once they die, they have the ability to shapeshift, and they live amongst us in spirit in disembodied form. But they have certain spiritual powers to be able to manifest into different animals, manifest into people, maybe voices, and they like causing problems. Just put it that way. The ones that I've encountered here in Central Texas, they're very territorial. They're very territorial of the area that they live in. They will shove you off a cliff or a ridge. I've been shoved off a cliff and a ridge by them, and whether we're in disembodied form. I've been shoved off a cliff and a ridge, shoved off the highway into a ditch. Uh, I've been hit in the back. They attack, man. If you had spiritual openings, Smurfy said maybe the Indian was chanting for a lot lizard. The ones here in Central Texas, you could say they're backstabbers, man. They'll come and hit you in the back. You could hear something running behind you. You could hear the footsteps. By the time you're going to turn around, you feel the impact. You fly 4 or 5 feet, and you're in an open space. You tumble, roll, get up with your guards up. There's nobody there. There's one time that happened, and then I heard footsteps come from a different direction, and I got hit again. I got hit like 2 times, and I start going into prayer because how can you fight something that you can't see, but is making contact with you? Well, you can see it. It's telling you it's something spiritual, something demonic, right? Or something that through witchcraft or necromancy or whatever. So the only way you can fight it is spiritually. So you go into prayer. And normally when I will go into prayer is when they will stop, because I will pray in the still way. Especially if I'm saying the Our Father, or if I say, if there's anything around me, I type by and rebuke of Jesus Christ's name. They leave me alone. I can take you to certain locations here in Central Texas where it's hot. There's a lot of activity for what people call the dark shadow figures, or you want to call them the shapeshifter skinwalkers. I know certain locations where it's hot and heavy. You know, Elms Grove is one of them. Uh, there's this location by Maxdale Bridge in Killeen where it's hot and heavy. Uh, there's there's this a trail where you can go nature trail walking in Bell County where it's hot and heavy for the shapeshifter skinwalkers. That you're able to see their figures during the day. They're territorial. So if you're walking down their trails where they reside, they're going to try to come and attack. You know, I witnessed them. And then there's another one, Struckridge Falls. That's another hot spot for that kind of activity. Shapeshifter, skinwalker, shadow figures. But most of Central Texas used to be native land of this Tonkawas. And there's a lot of native Indian burial grounds that were built on where there's homes, there's buildings. That's why there's so much activity in Central Texas. You could say because they're building the native burial grounds. There wasn't marked as native burial grounds. They just sold the land cheap. The truth, Murphy. She says avoiding antiques, artifacts from garage sales, antique stores, thrift stores, flea markets, and swap meet. Yeah, you don't know what might be on them. And for you truckers, stop messing with them lot lizards. The reason I say that, because that lot lizard you're about to be messing with might be the deer woman. The deer woman goes after men that are being unfaithful on their wives. So I would suggest don't be messing with the lot lizards because you might run into the deer woman. The deer woman is a shapeshifter, skinwalker. She goes after unfaithful men, and her primary one of her primary targets is truck stops. The deer woman looks very beautiful, and she tries to keep you focused on her face because she's very beautiful. Uh, but if you pay attention to the feet, you'll be able to see the beastly feet, and then you'll know that it's not a real woman you're dealing with. Somebody said you might an STD. Well, that too, of course, an STD. Yeah, and another thing, they could have a negative attachment on them, so there could be a transfer in the spirit, like a succubus or incubus can transfer in that way through the sin. I don't know what Anita is saying. They're talking a different language. I don't understand what they're saying, so they're out of here. Maybe it was a dear woman. It's like, man, he's warning about the truck stops. Yeah, transferring of spirits through sexual intercourse that can happen. Messing with a witch or a warlock. And they normally carry demons on them. You mess with them and it transfers on you. Their tear duct, they can travel through the tear ducts, the nostril, the mouth, the ears, your privates. And I don't mean Private Ryan, I'm saying your privates. They can transfer that way. Through a love foundation, brother. That's all you got to do. Love foundation. Maintain your love foundation. Play Jesus Christ first. As you forgive people, that's part of love. The spiritual gives of discernment. That's what they're for, is to discern what's around you. You'll be able to tell. They'll warn you of what's good and what's evil. You'll be able to see the enemy for what it is. Through the spiritual gifts of discernment. Of course, you know I got minerals. I always got minerals. But the number one protection is Jesus Christ. I can pray for people to get healed. I can pray for something to be anointed by the Heavenly Father or blessed by the Heavenly Father, right? But everything has to be done through Jesus Christ. I've been going on for 2 hours and 2 minutes, brothers and sisters. I don't want to keep you up too late. Today it's already 3 o'clock here. So, in saying that, I hope you all enjoyed uh, tonight's live feed. I want to say thank you to all the viewers that tuned in. I don't know if I'm going to do a live feed tomorrow or not yet, because I think my wife wants to do something tomorrow. I'm not sure. But if I can sneak out, I will do another one like I always do. I just want to say thank you all for those that take the time to listen and tune in and interact here with an old veteran, a brother, brother in Christ, with all my brothers and sisters. I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. I just want to say that I love every one of y'all as a spiritual brother through Jesus Christ. That He's always with you, as He's with me. All you have to do is ask for His assistance, and He will assist you spiritually. Just want to say thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. No, when I created Positive Spiritualist, was a way of therapy for me, because when I created Positive Spiritualist, which that group still exists, but it stopped growing because I got targeted by the cryptic community because of the spiritual aspect. When I created the group was because I was going through a lot, so a lot of the old videos that I had there got deleted when my original Facebook account got permanently deleted by Facebook because of the people reporting my work. But that didn't stop me. I created another one. It got targeted again. That stopped growing, so I created Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, in which that's what you see. And if you go and look for Positive Spiritualist, it's still up. And that's my original group. I created it as a, how should I say, for me to understand what I was going through spiritually, because I was going through a lot that I didn't understand. So I would place photos, I would place videos to keep record of what I was going through when I was fighting spiritually in Elms Grove. Uh, and here I am still doing the same works uh, with a lot of more friends, brothers and sisters here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on YouTube. I just want to say thank y'all, man. And I'm getting to meet good people, and I'm getting to meet a lot of brother in arms, sister in arms that have joined in the military. So I want to say thank you for your time and service, especially those that they get dedicated a lifetime, and they're retired. Thank you for your time and service, and appreciate y'all. But that's why I initially created Positive Spiritualist. That's one thing about the military. You don't sometimes you don't want to bring anybody into the stuff that you're going through, so you keep it to yourself. The reason you keep it to yourself is because if you say it to too many people, then they're going to try to target on you, right? They're going to try to mess with you. So when you're going through something, sometimes it's just meant for you to keep it to yourself and try to find a way to overcome what you're going through. That's why I initially created Positive Spiritualist, because I was being spiritually attacked. I was seeing this shadow figures, uh, dogmen or werewolf-like creatures, a pan creature, shadow figures, shapeshifters, skinwalkers, a Bigfoot, some kind of alien, reptilian. All those things were happening at once. In which, how can all these things happen at once if they're all from different kind of things? How are they all in one location? Well, it's because they were demonic in nature. But y'all can check it out. I mean, there's still a little bit of activity there. I still place my videos there, but I have Positive Spiritualist was my original group that I created. But uh, the reason I got Spiritual Encrypted Encounters is because it was members of the cryptid community that come up against me in a negative way because they didn't want me to grow. They didn't want me to bring the truth out to the spiritual aspect out of it. So I made it my journey. I made it. So you know what? Spiritual Encrypted Encounters will be the name of my new group. And here we are, speaking in spiritual truth. Yes, in Texas. But in saying that, everybody have a beautiful, blessed evening. You can check it out. I got a Positive Spiritualist on Facebook, and I got Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Facebook. If y'all want to join the group, you're more than welcome to join. Again, thank y'all. Good night. God bless y'all. And if I do make a live tomorrow, we'll speak about whatever y'all want to speak. Shapeshifter skinwalkers, how they manifest, what they do, the things that they can do. We'll talk more in depth about it tomorrow, if y'all like. But as for right now, I would say buenas noches, or buenas mañanas because it's morning, right? Good night, brothers and sisters. Peace out, everybody.